All right, today we're diving into one of mythology's absolute grandest stories. It's a narrative that spans the entire history of the universe, from a cataclysmic flood all the way to a future apocalypse. This is the story of the 10 faces of God, the avatars of Vishnu. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so to get this, first you've got to know Vishnu. In the Hindu Trinity, you have Brahma, the creator, and Shiva, the destroyer. Vishnu, he's the one in the middle, the great preserver. His whole job is to keep the cosmic order, known as Dharma, in balance. He's the force that holds everything together.
So the big question is, what happens when that balance gets totally wrecked? When demons get way too powerful, when humanity completely loses its way, and the very fabric of reality starts to unravel?
Well, that's when Vishnu descends. And I mean, he really descends. He doesn't just send a messenger or a prophet. Nope. He comes down himself in a physical form. And that is the whole idea behind an avatar. It's God, right here on Earth, intervening directly to fix what's been broken.
So, how did it all begin? Well, the first descents weren't about fixing society's little problems. We're talking about saving the entire universe from literally collapsing.
And what's so fascinating here is the sequence. Just listen to this. It goes from a fish to a tortoise that lives in water and on land, to a boar on the land, and then to something that's half man, half lion. A lot of people see this as a kind of ancient symbolic story of evolution on Earth. The first two avatars come right out of the cosmic ocean. You have Matsya, the fish, who saves the ancestor of all humanity from a world-ending flood. Then you've got Kurma, the tortoise. Get this. He holds up an entire mountain on his back so the gods can churn the ocean to get their power back. He's literally carrying the cosmos. So after saving creation, the avatars start going head-to-head with its enemies. Varaha, the boar, fights a demon for 1,000 years just to rescue the earth itself. And then there's Narasimha, the man-lion. This story is amazing. He shows up to defeat a demon king who has a special blessing. He can't be killed by man or beast, not during the day or at night, not inside or outside. So what does Vishnu do? He shows up as neither man nor beast at twilight on a doorstep and uses his claws to get the job done. A perfect divine loophole. All right, so after those cosmic battles, the threats start to shift. They become more human. This is the age of heroes, when the avatars begin to walk among us, taking on human form to deal with our own self-inflicted chaos. And here, the whole focus is on human flaws. You have Vamana, a dwarf, who outsmarts an arrogant king who's taken over the universe. Then you get Parasurama, a warrior, who takes down an entire corrupt ruling class. He basically hits the reset button on society. And this brings us to the seventh avatar, and he's a big one. He's maybe one of the most beloved and revered figures in Hinduism, Lord Rama, the ideal king and the hero of the incredible epic, the Ramayana. Rama is held up as the perfect man, the ultimate role model. His entire life is a masterclass in doing the right thing, no matter how much it costs you personally. His battle to defeat the demon king Ravana and rescue his wife Sita is this amazing story of virtue that ushers in a golden age of justice. Okay, now we're getting to some of the most popular figures and a really fascinating puzzle. Because the question of who exactly is the ninth avatar, well, that's a huge source of debate. So the eighth avatar is Krishna. And Krishna, he's complex. He's a playful child, a divine lover, a brilliant strategist, and the supreme teacher who delivers the incredible wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita to the warrior Arjuna right there on the battlefield. But Krishna wasn't alone. He had his elder brother with him, Balarama, who was a god of farming and incredible strength. Now remember that name, Balarama, because he is key to this whole controversy. Because this is the central question. If Krishna is the eighth, then who is the ninth avatar? And it turns out the answer really depends on who you ask. This is where the story splits in two. Some traditions say Balarama is the ninth avatar, of course, but many others say it's actually the Buddha. Yeah, that Buddha. Some ancient texts even explain this as a kind of clever trick by Vishnu to appear as Buddha to mislead people who had strayed from the path, so that true order could be restored later on. This is just a classic example of something called syncretism. It's when one religion absorbs figures or ideas from another one. It really shows you how these belief systems are alive, They're fluid, they borrow and adapt from each other over centuries.
So finally, let's talk about how this whole epic story ends. And to do that, we have to look to the future.
The 10th and final avatar is the only one who hasn't shown up yet. He is known as Kalki, and he is prophesied to be the one who brings about the end of our current age.
The scriptures say Kalki will arrive at the end of this dark age we're in now. He'll come riding a white horse, holding a sword that blazes like a comet, and his mission is to wipe out all the evil and reboot the cosmos, kicking off a brand new golden age, an age of truth.
So from a fish saving all of life to a future warrior who cleanses the entire world, the avatars really show us this grand cycle of decay and renewal. And it kind of makes you wonder, right? If an avatar were to come down to Earth today, what form would they take? And what kind of chaos would they be here to fix?